welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another Quick Take Celebrity News Edition. Well, you guys, this is going to be pretty much an update to the update, I think, from the last video that I did actually on this particular sharing. And this is of Alec Baldwin, you know, as we know, and the situation that he had just went through, the court case, and being charged with, I believe it was involuntary manslaughter or something to that nature, in the unfortunate unaliving of Halyna'S during their filming the movie Rust. I think it was in 2021 when this happened. So it appears that now that the court case has gone through the process, it turns out that Alec Baldwin was, I guess, all intents and purposes, not found guilty for the particular charges of unaliving Halyna'S. And then Alec Baldwin then turned around and did a suing or lawsuit of his own in regards to malicious prosecution. Not sure how that's going to shape out. I'm sure we'll hear something probably in the next maybe few months or so, but I'll definitely be keeping my eyes out for that. Well, it also turns out that, well, Halyna'S' family is apparently not done with the situation as it stands. And that brings us to today's sharing, which is coming from People. And it shares that Halyna'S' family demands Alec Baldwin testify in wrongful death lawsuit. Calls his TLC show shameless. The parents and sister of the Rust cinematographer Halyna'S are criticizing Alec Baldwin over his reality series, The Baldwins. Following the premiere of the TLC reality series, The Baldwins, the parents and sister of the late Halyna'S are criticizing Alec Baldwin. Now, Gloria Allred and other attorneys for the Rust cinematographer's mother, Olga Solovey, father, Antonoli Androsovich, I hope I said that correctly, and sister Svetlana Simko filed a notice of deposition in Santa Fe, New Mexico on Monday, March 3rd in a statement obtained by People, where they're demanding that Baldwin testify on May 9th in the wrongful death civil suit they filed against him in February 2023. The actor-producer, now 66, was rehearsing for the Western film in October 2021 when a prop gun he was holding accidentally fired, unaliving Hutchins and injuring director Joel Souza. Now, Baldwin, who has maintained that he did not pull the trigger, faced criminal charges in an involuntary manslaughter case that was dismissed with prejudice last July. It is long overdue for Alec Baldwin to admit and face the real-life consequences that he caused Halyna'S parents and sister. It is time for him to face reality under oath, reads the statement, which condemns the TLC series starring Baldwin, his wife Hilaria, and their 7 children that premiered on February 23rd. Why is he claiming that he has PTSD? Continues the statement, referencing Baldwin addressing the emotional fallout of the Rust incident on the Baldwins. Is his reality show just a veiled attempt to create sympathy for himself with a future jury pool in our civil case? Is this just a shameless attempt to portray him as a real victim in this case? The statement notes that the Emmy winner never called or tried to contact her parents or sister to say that he was sorry, and to this day, he has never taken responsibility for Halyna'S death. Baldwin's lawyers did not immediately respond to People's request for comment. Now, Baldwin faces another wrongful death civil lawsuit from Hutchins' widower, Matthew, named an executive producer on the to-be-released film, which has not been fully resolved despite its October 22 settlement. Several production crew members have filed suits against Baldwin and Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who was convicted of involuntary manslaughter last March. Those suits have stalled in the wake of Baldwin's criminal case being dismissed after his attorneys argued that prosecutors had buried evidence. Allred reacted to the dismissal in July, saying it only strengthens our resolve to pursue justice in the civil case that we have filed against him. Following his trial, Baldwin filed his own lawsuit against prosecutors, investigators, and others, accusing them of malicious abuse of process, and more claiming they sought at every turn to scapegoat Baldwin for the acts and omissions of others, regardless of the evidence or the law. Now, in February 2025 interview with People, the 30 Rock star and his wife reflected on how the family is still coming to terms with the tragedy. Filming the Baldwins amid the actor's trial last summer was almost like a diary, said Hilaria, 41, during a very unsure time of our life that felt both terrifying and like it could get us through day by day. All right, so here's my thought on this right off the bat. I'm not surprised. I'm solely not surprised. You know, I talked a lot about this situation with my hubby in regards to the initial case, the situation with the whole prop gun situation. And one thing, when I saw the actual interview, I want to say it was like maybe a 2020 interview that he did a couple of years ago, this being Alec Baldwin. And this was before the trial, I believe. And he was, I don't know what he actually was trying to do, but I guess in the sense that he was trying to get his side of the story of things, maybe get people to try to be more sympathetic to his plight in the situation. But one thing that was very clear is that he was not going to take responsibility for something that he felt that he didn't do. That's my thought, my take on that. There was no responsibility taken. It was this person's fault, it was this person's issue, this is when I did it, that kind of thing. And that always bothered me, because the bottom line for me is, for if you had not actually pulled the trigger, no matter how it happened, Halyna'S would probably still be here today. It bothered me seeing the family also doing their trick-or-treating and all this kind of stuff. And it was like literally not too long after the situation happened. And all I could think about was Halyna'S family and her son. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think she may have one child. And I'm just thinking, wow, you know, I just felt it seemed so insensitive to me. Maybe you might have a different thought about that, so feel free to, you know, respectfully leave them down in the comments how you feel about this situation. But these are the things that I was thinking, and this is how I felt about the situation. I just did not feel a lot of empathy at all for such a tragic situation to occur. Who I know's fault that it wasn't was Halyna'S at this point, right? I mean, it just seems so cold in retrospect on how this was handled and dealt with. And I understand there was moving parts involved in this, where sometimes things often are when it comes to these types of things. And when I say these types of things, tragedies of some sort, there are sometimes other things that are involved in the situation as well. But it doesn't absolve every single person who had a part in that incident. And so it always bothered me. And so, okay, they came to terms with whatever they came to terms with when they went to trial. And he was found not guilty of the involuntary manslaughter, where the 23-year-old armorer was actually sentenced. You know, I don't know. For me, it just did not feel like everything was going to be closed on this situation at that point in time. And then, as if everything wasn't bad enough, then we now go to the situation of, well, now we're going to file a lawsuit against the prosecutors who prosecute the case against us, because I felt they were malicious in, you know, all of the things that they shared in this sharing. And I actually did a video on that as well. You can most certainly take a listen and a watch to that, you know, if you're interested. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, all right, so we're just going to keep digging in on that plat. But, you know, hey, it's Alec Baldwin has the right to do just that. He feels that there was an injustice done towards him, so he had every right to address that in the court of law. Again, this did not feel right, didn't feel good, not to me, and maybe not to many other people, maybe not to you. I mean, I don't know. You let me know how you're feeling down below. So now that we're seeing civil suits going across, this does not surprise me at all. And even hearing some of the things that were shared in this sharing, which, you know, being alleged that there was not even a conversation of I'm sorry or anything like that from Alec to the family, that's heartbreaking to me. So if all things that are being shared here is what actually took place, I'm saddened for them. Obviously, an apology, I mean, it's not going to change the state of what took place, but to show some empathy and some concern about that situation, that would have went a long way. I mean, the whole thing just seems so cold and so unempathetic, and I don't know. It will be interesting to see how all this plays out with these civil suits. And then, of course, going to the TLC show. Now, I personally will not be watching the show, but I did hear and see that it did premiere, and I was shocked, actually. I did not know there was one in the works, but I'm just like, what is going on here? I mean, is this like the spin now? I don't know. You tell me your thoughts. I would love to know, because that just seemed even more unempathetic to me. Like, maybe we don't need to be out in front of everybody 24/7 in any kind of capacity. Or is it maybe the reason why they're doing this TLC show? Because maybe Alec is not being called for roles at this point. Maybe there's a concern with that. You know, I don't know. There could be lots of reasons for it, but it's just, I don't know. Could there not be a better way to, you know, utilize their time and how they actually put themselves out there? And is it necessarily to try to show, oh, we were in agony of the situation as well? And, you know, I don't know. It just all feels wrong to me. But again, I would love to know your thoughts. all things alleged, in this situation at this point, because he has been considered not guilty. So, whether they will appeal or not, I don't know if that's going to come about. But my guess is if anything like that happens, it's going to be a while from now, because now we got lawsuits flying left and right. And, those things take time to process as well. As we heard in the sharing, there was some stalling to some other cases that were going through at the time. So now they're trying to ramp those back up again. So yeah, I guess time will tell. I'm going to definitely be keeping my eye out on the updates in regards to this situation. Clearly, it is not over with. We've got some time to go when it comes to the lawsuits and how those are going to settle out as well, whether they will settle or what's going to happen in that case. And definitely want to know your thoughts. So definitely leave us down respectfully down below. We so appreciate it. And of course, hey, if you're new here and you have not subscribed, I hope that you will be a part of the family, be a part of the community. I would so appreciate it. And my goodness, I think that'll about do it for this video. I'm going to bid you adieu, but take care. Thank you so much again for being here. Make sure you keep your all notification bells on, because I'll have some more videos coming out as well. And I want to make sure I get your thoughts on those too. So with that, you be safe, take care, and be blessed. And until next time, bye.